What's going on YouTube? It's your buddy Will from the What's Up in the Sky 37 channel, online at www.whatsupinthesky.com. Go check out the website when you get a chance after the video, or if you're on the video on the website, check out the pictures, the forums, so much good stuff going in there. Um, Honestly, when I'm unavailable to be doing stuff, I always know that people are on the website putting out good information. We've got Todd over there, I couldn't even sit here and name everybody. My buddy Citizen, there's just so many people over there that post good articles daily. So make sure you check out the website. Put it on your browser favorites up on your bar. But what I wanted to do today is a little bit different than I usually do. Usually I try not to compare Earth and Mars, but lately we've been trying to figure out what our common heritage is, especially on shows like Richard Hoagland. I go on his show a lot now, and we're trying to figure out what this all means. And looking at the Gale crater, this was from Sol 6. Right here, you're looking at a picture from Earth. Here's the actual color picture of it, right? This is Pumapunku Bolivia, just a pile of basic rocks. These are parts of the structure at one time. Whether they were moved there or dumped there, or this is how they landed after cataclysm, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that they were all moved there because a lot of these stones ended up out into the other cities, around them. But I want you to look at the similarity here between these pictures, these stones. I mean, this should hopefully, like it did for me, confirm to you that we have a common ancestry. Well, we build the same. It looks like we look the same. I don't think that there are gray aliens on Mars. I think that the history of Mars really speaks to our history. And looking at this, my buddy Ron Judd, he had sent me a picture. Let me show you how I got these here. I'm going to exit out of the full screen. This is a Gigapan I put up just for this, and I'm going to link it down below, and I'm also going to link it on the website because I always put enhanced images up on the website. So make sure you check out the article. It is also going to be linked below. Um, Okay, so this is, if you don't know what the PDS is, it's the NASA Planetary Data System, basically where every mission's data goes. Everything from the pictures that were taken that day to the traverse path to the as deep as the commands that were given to the rover to make it move to where it needed to go. The relay satellites, the weather, there's so much. Every station brings back things on there. Now what they also do is kind of nice, and this is they make a mosaic. So this is a mosaic of all of these right here. Oh, these are a bunch of these. This is what my buddy Ron sent me. He said, "Man, check out these blocks." And right away, that Pumapunku image, I had seen it before, just snapped right in my head. So I went out, and instead of grabbing just that one, I said, you know what? Let me grab and see what they have at the Planetary Database System. So you can click on it, and this is pretty neat too. The link's going to be below for this whole system because if you're interested in this, this is a wonderful way to check out some of the earlier pictures. You can do the same thing on here that you can do on the Gigapan. What I've done with the Gigapan is I've actually made it just a little bit bigger, so the quality of it's going to look a little bit sharper. So that's where it came from. This is salt, and you can tell I've changed the color a little bit to match a little bit more like Earth. And like I said, the link will be below. So let's take a look at some of these rocks because this is the interesting part of it. So we've got. Let me pull this image back up, and these were all destroyed at one point. This was obviously the civilization that got at one time ripped apart, just like Mars. Mars, I think, took much more of a beating than Earth ever did. I may be wrong there, because who knows how long these cycles are going over and over and over again. We're only privy to what we've been told. And if you watch anything like the Forbidden Archaeology, Jonathan Gray, people who speak of Earth's true past, it's not as clear cut as they put it out. And they teach, at least in Western schools. I think that there's a lot of other philosophy that doesn't get taught, kind of like we get taught here in America. So let's look at some similarities here. Here you've got a long rock, which looks like a foundation of a piece of something, even to where here, which matches up with this piece here. And look at where it's been chipped off. Just that little chip right there. See how that's chipped off the same way? That's what actually made me think of this piece right here. Now, of course, these aren't as buried as the silt. Some of them are. This piece here is buried. I think where we're at 618, Sol 618, that means the 618th day we were on Mars. We were in much more shape. This is down where there was actually water. A lot of silt covered these things. So there is a lot of it that's just covered up. We don't get to see it, but look at the patterns that we actually get in some of these pieces here. Let's pull this over here. Wait, this rock right here. If you flip this piece over, look at the 90-degree angles that come up to actual curves. Same thing out here in Bolivia. I mean, we're talking two planets, two building styles. You know, the same exact two planets, one building style, and it seems like that throughout all. I mean, even if you look at the building styles throughout the old ancient sites here on Earth, we're finding so much more. History is being rewritten all the time. Göbekli Tepe is going to rewrite history, and I think we're just going to keep learning and learning and learning. And as long as we have the internet, as long as we can communicate with each other, we're going to be able to figure this stuff out for ourselves, you know, so we won't have to stick to the old way of thinking. So I just wanted to show you that real quick, and just the similarities. Look how the blocks stand out here. Up here you've got bevel on this piece right here. It comes up, it's straight across that way, just as you have out on some of these other ones. Here, look at this piece out there. Same way. Um, Pretty amazing. I was so glad I was able to find that picture. Up here you've got cuts and cuts into pieces. Over here, look at the perfect almost trapezoid piece right there. Now let's go ahead and move this out of the way and take a better look at this. Now we could sit here all day and look at this. I mean, that's how actual, you know, as much is in here, but there's a couple of places I really want to show you other than just these blocks. Because hopefully right away the blocks sold you. I mean, the odds of this stuff being out and being along where you've got really flat pieces that look like they could have been used at one time as foundations for buildings. I mean, hopefully it's starting to click. I hope. You know, you never know. So let's take a look at some of the other pieces. And just like strewn about just kind of randomly everywhere, you've got stuff here that's just kind of tossed about. It's going to do that every time I come back up to it and I take it out. But let me see if I can't find some of these other. Now, what was interesting is when you do the auto color, you start to see that some of this stuff is not the same color. These rocks are not all that, I call it butterscotch puke. Over here, Uncle Jake's junkyard, as my buddy Terry would say from Paris. Um, we're looking at ruins. The whole way, the NASA's been looking at ruins as it's gone from Sol 1 up to where it currently is. Look at this piece here. It almost looks like a perfect circle. It looks like a piece of a some sort of pole sometimes. This right here is another rock in front of it, so we can't see under it. But who knows? Who knows how long or how old this stuff has been, how long it's been there. Interesting different color here of this piece. But what I was really looking for, there's a bunch of different things over here. Where are you at that I wanted to show you? And see how stuff is buried? This is what interests me so much. Like here, we've got corners buried of stuff. Like I love to just be able to go there one day. All right, here we go. Check this out. Look at the perfect angle here on this. This looks like a metal piece or either that or it's a light that's shining through maybe up here. Whatever it is, it's very interesting. Let's see if I can get in here a little bit more with my Apple Zoom. Hey, a little critter in there. My buddies are going to say that. A lot of people think that there's still things living on Mars, tucked away in little caverns and living underground. But whatever that is, it's pretty interesting. And it looks like it even goes past this piece right here. So I thought that was cool. Just on top of the blocks alone, the blocks themselves, to me, are, you know, make the whole thing. Here you've got just rounded out pieces. Now, there's parts that look like stairs. Let me see if I can find them out here. Where'd they go? Okay, here. It almost looks like some of the facade is still there. If you were to, I could probably find more and more. Let's just say this whole cliff right here was part, and it had a piece out here. And the catastrophe came, wiped everything out, and the water came. And when water comes, this stuff is like, you know, well, you throw a bunch of rocks in a bucket, swoosh them around with some silt, and you can see how easily water moves things, no matter how heavy it is. So you can still see part of the, maybe the original retaining walls, some of these things here, but up here you've got just very interesting pieces. It looks like it's been torn down from it. And what's, like I said, this is, Saw 8 or what, 618. So we're still, you know, a little ways back. Now we're up at the Saw 1400 and stuff like that. So, and once again, you get perfect triangular, uh, you know, angles. This looks like a 45-degree angle to me, possibly. Maybe I'm a little off there. My trackpad doesn't work on them. So used to using all like my Photoshop on here that the trackpad's not working. But here, like, look, it looks like you've got layering as things go up, and maybe it was on the other side. I saw it more, but here, this stuff right here, a couple videos back, I had sheet metal on Mars. Once again, what looks like it's been cut into it. Look how cut it would be. Um, Almost like we see here in the corners. Where was it? There was pieces out here, where it's cut very, very, very precise. Whoever worked on these areas here, let's put Pumupunku, I mean, they really were attention to detail. A lot of people think they had some sort of power tools. Who knows? A lot of people have so many. That's what's great about the internet, and what's also bad. But it gives you yourself a chance to research all these things, especially when you can come like site like mine where I give you all the links. I want you to go out there and look and find for yourself. And look at this piece right here. Look at the you can still see it in here, like this was pieced together like that. A piece of a rock wall or something along those lines. Let's keep going through here. Very, very cool. Let me back out real fast. There was a couple of, and there's all sorts of just little random stuff laying around on here. Um, you can find patterns in some of them if you want to go looking for them. I really didn't take, like I said, my main purpose for this video, and I probably already let it go too long, were those blocks. I wanted you to see the similarity between them. But since we're here on this Gigapan, and I took the time to make it, which is really, I just took the time to upload it. Here we go. Okay. Once again, more and more pieces of block that looks like they have pieces carved into them, like they had a purpose at some time. You come to a corner here. Look at the interesting, what looks like sheet metal again here. Then you have a squared off block with the circle there, right there in the middle, a spear. Um, Things that naturally don't seem to be, look, I just showed you a picture where you say where you can see this on Earth. Out here, here was another cool thing. There's a sphere out here, just a perfect little sphere. You can't tell if it's fully around for where we sit at this angle, but you can see at least the part that's fitting at us looks like it, and it's a different color from the rocks around it, or whatever, the stone, the regoliths, whatever you want to call it. And out here, just sitting out here in the distance, there's a whole bunch of interesting things out here on the horizon. Check this one out too. Just sitting there. Alright, so let me do this one more time. I want to show you guys, see if I come across the one piece. Here you can see where the rovers checked things out. So it was definitely interested in what was on this little ridge line right here. Look at that piece right there. That's pretty cool looking. Alright, down here, pieces, stuff sticking out, more. Look at that. Look at that perfect triangle coming up there. Alright. Now let me get back to it. And this one was way out of place. Look at this. It looks like it's got metal. It looked like it was metal or slag or something at one time, and it just took a beating. Whatever it did, like I said, Mars surely took a whopping, and that's one thing I'm definitely. I think that most of us can agree on, even if you don't believe that these were blocks and this stuff was beautiful at one time. That I do, and that multiple generations of probably Martians were there, humanoid. They built like us. We built like them. Maybe they're not there anymore. Maybe they migrated here. Maybe their technology was that good. Um, at some point, there was a technology that lined up our moon and our sun to have the perfect solar eclipse. When you think about the odds of that just happening naturally out there, and we just happen to be there and affected by them, it just, to me, when I see this stuff and I think about those things, it really points to some sort of intervention from somewhere. So let's see if we can't show these one more time. Our wonderful blocks, they've got 90-degree angles all over them. Here, this comes swooping down to another one. Over here, once again, it comes up, it comes around, and look right there. It looks like it was chipped with some sort of road saw, or rope saw, or something like that. Who knows? Around the back here, you've got little pieces, more and more angles, and where's my favorite triangle? This one out here. All right, now let me pull that up one more time for you guys that are having trouble seeing it. We'll move it on over. And like I said, the coolest thing about it is that you can see that this is that little dip right there. That's just damage. That's how stuff, if you've moved sandstone or if you've moved different rock and broken it, that's how it chips off. It doesn't chip off in perfect straight lines on 90-degree angles. Wind doesn't do that. Water doesn't do that. Intelligence does that. So, all right, guys, much love to you. I've been battling a cold all week. Sorry I didn't get a chance to get more videos to you. I hope you enjoyed the Richard C. Hoagland show that I posted. Richard, he couldn't make, he called out sick last minute, graciously offered me to host. I was nervous as could be, but had a great time hosting. And as always, we've got a 67P coming up, which I have not really addressed 67P on here because I've been on the fence with it. But more and more research I do, I've got some good videos coming up for you guys. All right, guys, much love to you. Happy Saturday, whatever time you watch this. It's Saturday for me at 11 o'clock. Well, it's 11:11. So, all right, guys, much love. Peace.